Greetings, Ron Smalek with my Week 2 Pokemon Go vlog. In this series, I'm going to be talking about where I have played, interesting things I have seen and done to keep me interested in the game, tips, and also at the end, I'll be talking about how far I got in terms of level, in terms of medals, etc., etc. So we're going to start off talking a little bit about where I've played this week. And in my neighborhood, as I've been taking the dog for longer and longer walks, I found a couple spots where you will always get a spawn, and then if you go away for 5 or 10 minutes and come back, you will get another spawn. And the spawn of Pokemon either seems to be a bunch of low-level basic Pokemon, like between 3 and 5 will appear all at once, or you'll get like a semi-rare, like a stage 1 evolution, like a Haunter or something appearing. And it's almost always in the exact spot, sometimes a little bit, off to a few meters off to the north, south, east, or west. But there are definitely hot spots. I found one near my house around the block. I found one in a parking lot in New Jersey. And that particular one almost always spawns individual water Pokemon, Magikarps, Staryus, Squirtles, lots of stuff that I don't get around home. So if you find a good spot on your map, go there, come back a half hour later, go there again. You will probably find that it's a very good spot overall. So of note this week, I spent a lot of time battling and catching Pokemon at O'Hare Airport. I had a lot of fun taking some screenshots of a gym underneath a giant skeleton of a dinosaur in one of the terminals at O'Hare. And then in New Jersey, the best spot that I found this week while I was traveling was at the Doubletree Somerset. There's probably 4 or 5 Pokestops within walking distance. Some are like about just out of range of each other. And there are also 3 gyms very close to there. So if you like walking back and forth in a circle around the block, you'll get a lot of stuff there. But there's one particular Pokestop that I enjoyed just sitting at and putting down a lure and some incense, and that is a duck pond, which has like a wooden dock sticking out over the duck pond, and there's not a lot of lights there, so at night it's just really pretty looking, and nobody comes by and bothers you, except you will see every few minutes another Pokemon Go player walking through the neighborhood and stopping to grab the Pokestop that's on this dock in the middle of this sort of natural scene. I wanted to amuse myself during some airline delays this week, and so I wrote down 5 names of my friends who are playing Pokemon Go and who are communicating on Discord and sharing their adventures with me. That is Falm, Hawkminer, and Sean V. Martin. He and I are actually texting and talking to each other on the phone. He's not on the Discord yet. Baker Bell and Covolta, who just recently got the game in Canada. So they've all been playing. So I said, okay, the first Pokemon I run into, I'm going to call it Falm. Second one, Hawkminer. Third one, Sean. And then of the 5, let's see which Pokemon turns out to be the highest level, highest CP. And that will be the winner of my Pokemon Go Brawl for the week. It turned out that almost exactly in the order I caught them, their CP tended to go up. Well, that's not entirely true because I caught Sean in the middle, and he was represented by a level 253 Doran female. I have caught very few of them, so it was a very good catch for me, but it also turned out to be the highest CP of those 5 Pokemon, so Sean won the Pokemon Go Brawl this week. I did notice that after the text patch midweek, there was a patch that nobody knows really what is in it except that it changes text, and then the release in Japan. I noticed that after that, my eggs are tending to hatch a lot quicker. So it used to be they would hatch when I walked, and I kind of keep checking, the kilometers, and it took about the right number of kilometers or maybe more to hatch them. And I noticed that now I'm getting a lot of kilometers while just driving, even though my phone's not moving up and down. So they tweaked something. They still haven't fixed the 3-step bug, which if you've been playing, you probably know what that is. But of note this week, I got a couple, I probably hatched at least a dozen eggs. But of the notable ones, I have a Geodude now, a Dratini, a Squirtle, and a Lickitung. I was very happy to see that one hatch. So while I've been playing, I've been checking out Pokemon Go podcasts or Pokemon podcasts that are also covering Go. I'm going to tell you about my 3 current favorites and then 4 additional ones. If you're into listening to people talk about Pokemon Go, look them up, check them out. The first one I'm going to talk about is a podcast I've listened to a long time. It's called It's Super Effective. And one of the hosts has started doing his personal Pokemon Go report. That's kind of what encouraged me to do this show. I like that one a lot. There's a new podcast. It's called Gotta Pokemon Go. And that has 2 sisters from Texas, Sarah and Lena, talking about their Pokemon adventures. It's really sweet to listen to. And then 2 of my very old Minecraft friends, meaning I've known them for 6 years, Brent Copeland and Eric Fullerton, formerly of Dead Workers Party and the Minecraft Shaft podcast, have started PGO Radio, which you can find on YouTube as well as iTunes. The rest of these are just on iTunes as far as I know. So those are my top 3 favorite. And then I've also enjoyed listening to Pokemon Go Radio, to Pocket Players Go, to Pokemon Go podcast, and a long-running Pokemon show called The Dex, which might be my 4th favorite of the group. I listened to a couple other podcasts, I think 2 other podcasts that talked about Pokemon Go that I didn't really care for that much, so I'm not going to mention them here. As far as my own achievements this week, I reached level 20, and I was surprised and excited to get Ultra Balls. I was actually down to like 4 regular Pokeballs at this point, so it was a much-needed get. And I did not know for sure that Ultra Balls were in the game. My son had mentioned to me something about them, but I wasn't sure if it was official, so this was a nice surprise. I don't believe there will be any other types of balls added to the game until next generations. If they add things like Netball and that, I think this is it for now. Regular, Great Ball, and Ultra Balls. We'll see. I'd be really surprised if they put a Master Ball in, but who knows? My Pokedex at the end of this week ended up with 79 Pokemon caught and 80 Pokemon seen. I still have not been able to find another Machop that got away, so that's been bugging me all week. And I noticed something interesting about midweek. I was looking at the count of Pokemon that show up when you click on the Pokemon list. So I had 75 Pokemon in my list, and I know this for absolutely sure because I counted them all. And I had 9 eggs. So if you add 75 plus 9 eggs together, you get 84. And notice the number at the top left of the screen. It says 84 out of 300. So that number up there is actually counting your Pokemon plus your eggs. And it's essentially double counting the eggs because those are already counted 9 out of 9 on the other tab. And that bugs me. Like, I think it should have said 75 out of 300, not 84. Minor thing there, but just be aware. And again, at the end of the week, I have officially caught 79 unique Pokemon. So I am at the halfway point in this game, and it's going to get a lot slower to increase that number here forward. As far as like my strongest Pokemon, I have not really been leveling any of them up. The highest ones I have are Eevee evolutions. Speaking of Eevees, I'll share a tip with you. Probably you already know this, but just in case you don't, it's actually really cool, and I hope there are other Easter eggs like this. If you nickname your Eevee, you can actually force it to evolve into a certain evolution. So if you name your Eevee Rainer, Rainer, it will turn into a Vaporeon when evolved. Sparky will turn into a Jolteon, and Pyro will turn into a Flareon. So if you're not sure on the spellings, Google it before you try it. I don't think capitalization matters, but I've had mine with the first letter capitalized and all the rest lowercase. So check that out if you are near evolving one of your Eevees and you want to force it to a certain evolution. The moves that they have beforehand as an Eevee do not matter. That was an early theory that's been disproven. But this way works, and these are named after the three Eevee brothers from the old Pokemon cartoon. So I really do wonder if there's anything else hard coded in the game of this nature. Have not seen any Pokemon shinies yet. Have not seen any legendaries yet. I'm positive that those will come at some point. And let's just all keep watching the news. I believe it's now rolled out to pretty much all the main countries that it was going to roll out to. I think Japan is the last region, and so that makes me think that now they're going to stabilize it, and then we're going to get a patch with some bug fixes, and then hopefully we're going to see some legendaries and then some functionality. But maybe I'll speculate that more on that next week. Enjoy your Pokemon Go. Please do let me know if you're interested in joining the Discord group to just chat about Pokemon Go with some of my other friends. I'm not sure if I'm adding just everybody, but I will certainly consider it. And also let me know what interesting Pokemon Go stories you've had, and maybe I'll talk about them on the show, or include your name if you comment in the next Pokemon Brawl that I do. Cheers.